Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Blaster Master. In the last one we got the hover text, which allows us to do this. How you activate that is that you press jump when you're in the midair, Also, I'm showing this off because we're actually heading back to the starting screen of the game, because that's where the entrance to Area 4 is. However, this is a shortcut back to this area if you remember the last part. So that'll cut about your travels in probably about a good half. So now let's head on over to the starting area. Also, I should mention, you need at least 5 hover for this. The way you get hover is that various enemies drop them, like the little shriek bat things I mentioned earlier. In fact, I recommend using the shriek bats because they're all over the place in any area. And this is the entrance, the entrance to the room that gives us the entrance to Area 4. Whoa! These guys can move fast. And there it is! And welcome to what is apparently the infamous Area 4. Why is it infamous? Well, you know how a lot of games like to have mazes that have no visible answer unless you know the game well enough? Yeah, it's one of those. Also, don't go into this little 3x3 here, because you get stuck easily. You can still escape it, it just takes some effort. Also, I should mention that the hover, you can activate it and it actually won't take any of its fuel, I suppose, away, because it does actually have like a certain amount of time for 1 bar of it. So that's useful. And now we're in the maze of sewers. Pretty much just follow the path I'm taking. All other ways either lead to dead ends or probably even death. I'm not sure, because the guide never told me to go. Well, the guide pretty much said don't go down those ways, they either waste time or something along those lines. Also, I realized what I didn't mention it before, but I realized what the sensor bombs there remind me of. They remind me of the very similar sensor bomb enemy in the Batman game on the NES. Fittingly enough, mind you, because they're both Sunsoft games. Although I think so far this one is better than Batman. Mind you, the Batman game is fantastic. And these are the Shriekback guys that gave me the hover. Though, don't let this happen to you. Yeah. Luckily, though, when you die in Blaster Master, you are sent you are sent only back to the beginning of the room, not to the beginning of the area. That's only if you get a game over. Also, when you're in water, your physics are essentially cut in half. So you can only jump like up to 2 blocks tall and such. And what I just did there was actually use the hyper missiles that I've had in my inventory for a while now. When you press start, you can select one of 3 little weapons, either the lightning icon, the H missiles, or the missiles. The way you use them is that you press down and B when there's an enemy on screen. Or if the lightning, anytime. Mind you, the hyper missiles are probably the best one. And I needed to grind for more fuel. Yay. Luckily, the upcoming cabin does actually have quite a few fuel icons in it. Actually, I should mention the fact that I haven't shown off a single optional cabin yet, but I will in World 7 if there's one in there. Because, as far as I know, that's the last world that has one. And now we climb up this really long ladder so we can get to the cabin. Which is, honestly, probably the most linear cabin there is, even more so than the first one or the one with proto or photophage last part. Mind you, you need to follow this path exactly, though. Because the blue stuff there is water, and if you fall in it, you die. Apparently, Jason never learned to swim. Wait, no, he can swim! Wait a minute. How are you supposed to get that, by the way? So, he can swim when the tank's nearby, but the moment he enters a cabin, he loses all ability? It's kind of odd. And now we finally get some enemy gunmen. I guess they finally realized that we were actually a threat. Also, grenades are easily the best ways to go about killing these guys. Purely because the grenades take them down in one hit. Although, I think the grenades actually have a bit of a range to them. Well, not obviously they have range to them, but I think they actually have a minimum and maximum range they can go to, and they actually can vary with that. I think. I'm not too sure, though. What do these guys remind me of? Actually, no, they do kind of remind me of... I was about to say, they remind me a bit of Mysterio from Spider-Man, but they remind me of something else. Oh, I know, they remind me of the robot from Lost in Space. That really, really old TV show, and don't even get me started on the movie. Ugh. Spiders. Actually, admittedly, I do kind of like the Lost in Space movie. Just because it's so bad. I love you, wife. Actually, this is just hitting me now. You know what, Jason? Jason's design when you're... I love how these guys constantly get stuck, by the way. Jason's design in these sections actually reminds me a lot of the guy who rides the motocross bikes in Excite Bike. I can never pronounce that correctly. And also, they give you hover in this place because you needed to really leave the entire area. And... time for the ominous no enemies pre-boss boss room. And now it's time for the boss. And who is our boss this time? Why, it's our dearly mutated frog, Fred. And now we're gonna murder him. He's actually weak to the exact same attack that Crabullus was, so you can just pause. Though this time he's trying to give me a really high-pitched tone, and it's hurting my ears. So, yeah, go away. And now we just killed our frog. Sorry, Fred. However, the battle is not over yet. We still have to defeat the mutants that are all over the place, because, I don't think they mentioned it in the American manual, but in the Japanese, there's apparently mutants deciding to take over the planet we're on, because I don't think we're on Earth, actually. But anyway, for defeating Fred back there, we got a key, which is only useful for opening, I think, 2 blocks in the entire game that require it. Pretty much railroading, to make sure you don't skip this boss. Though knowing speedrunners, there's probably a way around fighting him. Probably, I'm not sure. This game is actually rather well programmed, all things considered. The grenade glitch aside. Mind you, that's a helpful glitch. I hope it's a glitch. If that was intentionally programmed, that's it's kind of stupid. Also, those little sphere enemies you see floating around in this little maze area here remind me oddly of 3 things. 1, Samus's morph ball from Prime. 2, the little grenade bomb enemies that were in Mega Man 0, 1, and 2. And I think 1 level and 3. Yeah, they were in 1 level and 3. And 3rd, for those of you familiar, it's another Mega Man thing, but for those of you who are familiar with the Mega Man comics and possibly Super Rockman Adventure for the, I think, PS1 and Saturn, it reminds me of Ra Moon. At least I think that was Super Adventure Rockman. I'm not too sure. I obviously haven't played it because it's Japan only. Curse those games. I really hate it when a game is Japan only, by the way. Like Xenoblade almost was. Mind you, I have to get back to playing that at some point. Also, the backtracking I did at the beginning of this part to get back to Area 1, that's not the last time we're going to do it, actually. I think after Area 6... Yeah, Area 6, we're actually going to have to backtrack to Area 2, and that's going to be annoying. I only know that because I read ahead in the guide, though. And now we're back in this room where we were earlier, and now we actually have to head to the right in order to get to our next destination. The key blocks. I think these are the only ones in the game. I'm not too sure about that, though. And they actually have a section where they force you out of the Sophia for about not even a minute. Because you need to climb up this ladder, go to the right, and unlock the other one. It's kind of just padding, if anything else. Mind you, Jason actually controls pretty well even when he's outside of the tank. And welcome to Area 5, the water level, with really damn catchy music. Thankfully, though, it's not that long of an area, actually. We're only in here for probably the very end of this part, and maybe not even half the next part. And this is actually the only area at this point we can actually enter with our tank. Why? Well, you'll find out momentarily. Also, I like how the fish enemies die and then immediately... Well, they die, then they explode like a minute later. Well, not really, it's actually kind of annoying because it prevents me from getting power. And possible hover. I think they can only drop power, actually. Anyway, here's the big thing. While that passage over there is, I think, big enough to host a Sophia, we can't get over there with our tank. Because hover does not work underwater, because fire, water doesn't really mix well. So what we have to do is actually get out of our tank and go to the cabin, which is about 2 rooms no, actually, I think 3 rooms away, with Jason on his own. I recommend putting your vehicle right about there for no reason at all, other than the fact it just allows you to go up faster. So we have to deal with the somewhat awkward swimming controls again. If only because you actually have to press A to start swimming instead of just... Well, actually, no, pressing A to swim makes sense, but... Yeah. Then again, it's probably just because I'm still used to Mario World swimming controls, because I'm trying to mash A to swim instead of pressing up. That's probably it, actually. So many fishes. Actually, are they fish, or are they just mutants swimming? I can't tell. Thankfully, although they are slow, though their bullets obviously will kill you. And, yeah, actually, it looks like what I was talking about last part is true. If you technically always have one more life point than it says. And then this happens. Thankfully, Jason doesn't explode. Be funny if he did, but nope. Oh, that fish was going a bit, crazy for a second there. And... random robotic shark thing. Okay. And welcome to the cabin of Area 5. But, with that, I'm gonna need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And next time let's play Blaster Master Blind. We're going to be continuing on here through the cabin of Area 5, and seeing what we can find in here. See you guys then.